Do you remember this shot? Brilliant shot, but unfortunately that crippled my variable ND filter. How lucky that Freewell contacted me the day afterwards asking me if I wanted to take a look at their versatile variable ND filter set. Hell yeah. So my filter of choice before that particular instance was a Nuria variable ND filter. This one is an ND2 to 400. Great little filter, very budget friendly. However, if you're not an experienced filmmaker, you can find some difficulty using these variable ND filters, because if you push it to the extreme or you have it in a certain area, you can get this cross pattern on your images. However, Freewell have sent over their new versatile magnetic variable ND filter set, and this thing, I can tell you, absolutely rocks. So Freewell has sent me these filters free of charge. However, they don't get any input on the video and they don't get to see it before it gets published. So this is my genuine opinion on these filters. So this filter set is currently on Indiegogo for a backing campaign. At the moment, you get it at a good deal, and if you want them, get in there quick. They are available afterwards, but there will be a $100 increase in the price. Check out the link in the description for the current price of these filters. In this pack, we have a nice leather case. We then have the base ring, and we have the variable ND base. We have a variable ND mist base, an ND 2 to 5 stop CPL glass, an ND 6 to 9 stop ND 32 CPL glass, really awesome lens cap. Now, the base ring can be purchased separately, so that if you want to add extra onto your other lenses, you can do that. Let's start with the base. That is a simple screw on, same as any other filter you've had for your cameras. Mine is a 67mm screw on thread. And then what you start then is you have a base filter. This is the variable ND base, and all it does is just clips in and locks in magnetically. Now that on its own is a one-stop variable ND filter. So then what we can do is we can take our variable ND filter, you match up the A to A on the filter thread, and then I have a 2 to 5 stop variable ND filter. The two polarizing filters that work against each other as you turn and darkens the image. But what is all this variable ND filter stuff? Well, simply, it cuts down on the amount of light that is hitting the camera's sensor. So when I'm filming outdoors, I like a particular look to my film, particularly the macro adventures. I like to have like a cinematic look to it. And to achieve that, we have to lock off certain aspects of our camera, such as the shutter and the f-stop. Typically, we want to have a wide aperture, and what comes with that is a lot of light. Now, if I was to put up the shutter speed to compensate for the wide aperture, you get what I like to call the camcorder or cell phone look. It just looks weird, and it's not a look I like. So we use a variable ND filter to darken down the image so that we can get the shutter speed that we require, which is typically double the frame rate that you are filming at. And same with this example here. If you look at the background, you can see how out of focus it is, giving us a nice depth of field, drawing your attention into the subject. However, to get a correct exposure without a variable ND filter, we have to crank up our f-stop to a minimum of f16, and now everything is in focus, making it look like phone footage. What I like about the magnetic system on this is I can get it on and off easy. So if I go to a high speed situation, such as if I want to film in 60 frames a second, you typically have a higher frame rate, which means you're getting less light coming in. Instead of having to unscrew the filter, I can just pull it off and just carry on filming. Same as if I go for a macro shot using my macro, as we get in closer or increase the magnification, less and less light is coming into the camera and hitting the camera sensor, which means I can simply just pull it off or put it on depending on the current situation that I'm filming. So instead of having to do like with this one, I'd have to unscrew it, film the particular insect I'm filming, then screw it back on to carry on with presentation. I don't have to with this set, I can just pull it on and off. So that is why I use a variable ND filter. So with this particular set, we also have polarizers. So if we take our 2 to 5 stop turn it around and you can tell what you're using because facing out from your camera, it tells you what it is. So that is the 2 to 5 stop. We turn it around, we have a circular polarizer. So what this will do now is that will cut down on the reflections of water or of cars, on glass and stuff like that. I don't use it that much at the moment because where I'm filming, there's not that much glare, but it is handy to have simply already on your camera just by turning the filter around, and that is really, really handy. Then if you're in an absolutely strong sunlight situation, we have the 6 to 9 stop ND filter, and I tend to find myself jumping between the 2 to 5 to the 6 to 9 depending on whether the sun is out or whether it's overcast. We also have another base filter, and this is a variable mist base filter. So this is a mist filter. What it can do is it mists up your footage so it can give a dynamic look to your footage, particularly if you're filming some lights in the background at night. And it can also give you that soft porn vibe to your videos. But on top of that, we can also add the variable ND filter. So now we have a mist variable ND filter. With the 6 to 9 stop, if we turn it round, we get an ND32 polarizing. So you get a polarizer as well as an ND32, so it's very, very dark. So basically you're getting 8 in 1 with this system. And with this system, you also get a nice lens cap. Now this is something I really do like. So if I have my 2 to 5 stop on there and I stop filming for some reason, I can now put the lens cap on and we are protecting the front of our camera. And I can put that into my camera bag like that. I don't have to worry about any dust or anything getting on the front of the camera. Another thing I like about this filter set over the old one is they have stops on there. So if you're not a very experienced filmmaker, but you know how to read your camera's meter, if your 3 stops overexposed, you know that you can turn this filter to 3 and you know you're going to get a correct exposure. Now, my wife, she films a lot of the outdoor stuff because I'm presenting on camera, and she found it a lot easier with this system to be able to get a correct exposure. And in the outdoor video that we did where we was collecting items for winter, there wasn't one part of the footage that was overexposed, whereas before I'd get certain parts that are slightly overexposed and I'd have to correct them in Premiere, whereas with this system she was able to nail the exposure time and time again, and she's not a filmmaker, so that is quite impressive. And talking about the hard stops, with these filters there's a hard stop that stops you pushing them too far so you don't get that X pattern on your variable ND filter. However, at the extreme end of them, you can get some vignetting on the corners of your footage. However, if you use a larger filter, you can avoid that. But for me, I don't really worry about it. And this base is compatible with older filters from the Freewell range. So let's get on to the plus and the negative. On the plus side, we have a nice case. We have 8-in-1 filters. So we have all types of filters for specific needs that we might encounter when filming. The magnetic lock on here is great. Again, I can get it on and off really quickly. So if I see a bee that I need to get a macro shot off, I can just pull it off, film it, and then go back to doing my presentation, just clip it back on and set my exposure. All that is great. They are scratch resistant. They are very, very high quality compared to my previous filter that I was using. There are some downsides to this. The one thing I don't like is, in my particular area where I'm filming, I'm finding myself having to jump from the 2 to 5 to the 6 to 9 quite often. You have to keep swapping them around, whereas my old filter, I didn't have to. That's just something I have to put up with. The lens cap is a brilliant idea. I absolutely love it, except there is a slight problem. Now, I'm not going to say it's a problem. That's a strong case of words. It's a bit of an irritation, more like it, I could say. And that is the magnet on the lens cap is stronger than the magnet on the holder. So whenever you pull the lens cap off, you pull the filter off. It'd be nice if it was the other way around. So the magnet on the lens cap is lighter than the one on the holder, so you could just pull it off, because it's always pulling the filter off all the time. It's just a bit of an irritation, that's all. Apart from that, I haven't really found anything to really gripe about with these filters. They are absolutely fantastic. I've been using them on all of my outdoor shoots for the last couple of months now. If you're a filmmaker that loves to get a particular look on your shot and you have to use ND filters, I think these Freewell filters are a fantastic buy. Again, I want to thank Freewell for sending these over for testing. I absolutely love them, and at the time I really did actually need them because I broke my original filter that I've been using for the last 2 years. Let's get a professional's opinion on these filters. What did you think of them?
Awesome!
There you go. I've got to say though, I mean, the way all things go, right? You was able to go outside, record an entire afternoon and not get one shot overexposed because of these filters. But that's where I shall leave it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this filter set and whether you'll be interested in taking a look at it. My name's Stuart Wood. I want to thank you for getting to the end of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. How lucky that Freewell... Shit, I must have that. How lucky that the day afterwards, Freewell got in contact with me, asking me if I wanted to take a look at their new magnetic... Fuck! How lucky that... Okay, I was going to put some outtakes on this one, isn't it? Can be a bit tedious because you get the dreaded cross. So in this pack we have a nice, yeah. When I go to a high speed situation, yeah. So what it can do, it mists up your footage, like if you want some giant, but that's where I shall leave it. My name's Stuart Wood. Until the next video, now you fucking twat, I must add that. But that's where I shall leave it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this filter set. And until the next video, oh, you fucking twat! But that's where I shall leave it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this filter set and whether you're interested in having a look at them. But until the next... Oh, fuck, why do I keep saying until? But that's where I shall leave it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these filters. My name's Stuart Wood, and fucking Jesus fucking... It's simple. It's simple. It's my name, Stuart Wood. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you on the next. Let's get a professional opinion on these filters. What did you think of them?
Good.
Yeah, that's really enthusiastic, wasn't it?